book launch. Good morning. Today is April the 19th, 2024. I'm Carol Ray, and this is a special edition of the Ancient Secrets community. And we are celebrating today the fourth book in a series. This one is Ancient Secrets for Pets. It's now available as of today in both the Kindle and the hard copy. And it's a collective effort from people all over the world who have sent in stories about how they were able to apply Ancient Secrets, which was a story of Dr. Naram, Dr. Pankaj Naram, written by Dr. Clint G. Rogers. And it's about so many things, including lots of stories about how Dr. Naram was able to use the Ancient Secrets in service of animals, all kinds of creatures, elephants, boa constrictors, tigers. Oh my gosh, so many things. And some of those stories, many of those stories made the details into the book. And one of the really special things that we have for today is Dr. Naram and Dr. Smita Naram's son, Krushna. Dr. Krushna Naram is in the house. Dr. Krushna. See if we can get you unmuted.
Oh, thank you so much. Amazing, Carol. Beloved Carol. And just beloved everyone who's watching. I love you and I'm with you. I'm so glad to be here. This is incredible. Oh, Carol. Wonderful, Carol. Delightful, Carol.
Thank you so much.
Great.
So, so many things, so many questions. For people who are new to this, we're streaming live on Facebook, and this will be recorded and available for some time. Can you tell us in your own unique way, who was Dr. Pankaj Naram and why is he so important to the world today?
Hmm. Hmm. I love your question. It's such a beautiful question. Who was Dr. Pankaj Naram and why is he so important in the world today? And it's a very basic and fundamental question. So I love it. Thank you for asking this. Now, to begin with, what Papa did on this planet and what he keeps doing through us and through the wisdom he left, that's something that is breakthrough and life changing. When he began learning from his master 30, 40 years now, over 40 years ago, and these secrets that are not 40 years old, that are not even 100 years old or 300 or 500 years old, not a millennium old, but 2.5 millennia old secrets. And imagine what kind of a world there was that these secrets, despite of no ICU or no whatever is there today, still people lived and people thrived. People experienced life in its fullness, experienced warm, deep, loving relationships. They experienced youthfulness beyond ages. What we think now as now it's time to retire, people would begin a new life. They would call it, they have a specific word that describes this way of life. So, what is this secrets of youth, secrets of vitality that have been passed down from 2.5 millennia? And once you know that these secrets, which not only worked for humans, but more deeply, they worked for all the different animals that existed at the time. There have been paintings of kings living with lions and tigers. And did they beat the lion into being tame? No, that was not possible. You cannot beat an animal to become friendly. But they had some secrets, some mantras, some murmurs, and some herbs that created that loving nature, or even allowed the animal to be so comfortable that it could just settle into love and express its own love, express its own being with the people around. It could go out of fight or flight and for once experience life at a higher quality of whatever it could. So these ancient secrets were created and even they were discovered, practiced by Jivaka to change the life of everyone who practiced them. Everyone who was alive lived a better life as a result of these ancient secrets. Now imagine that being passed to this day and age, and what potential and what power it has to impact lives, to save lives, to heal lives, to save our loved ones, to connect us to who we are, get us to our purpose of life. And more deeply, these beings who cannot speak in the language we do, or we cannot understand them, but they understand something so deeply more profoundly more than us, how we can help them, how they can walk better, have better skin, have better vitality, better digestion, how they can experience life at its fullest, despite being surrounded by toxins which they aren't blamed, they haven't caused. So the importance of Dr. Naram and who Dr. Naram is really the extract of these ancient secrets. The way he walked, the way he moved, the way he lived was full of life and enthusiasm, which arose from understanding what are the ancient secrets of feeling young at any age. What are the ancient secrets that can help heal your liver, lungs, heart, kidney, joints? How can someone who's not been walking from years begin walking again? How can someone who's had depression, anxiety, wanting to commit suicide, feels that death is less painful than life, suddenly start feeling life is beautiful? And if death is to come, I welcome it with love. And that's such a beautiful way to live and even die or leave your body. So these ancient secrets that allow you to experience these miracles, and imagine someone who could live them 1000%, and just being in their presence, you would live them. You'd feel suddenly more alive, more hopeful, more in love with life, more better joints. Healing began just by thinking of them. That's Dr. Naram. And so why they're important, why he's important for us today in this day and age, is because imagine us having access to something 2500 years back. The only other way to get it would be a time machine. And I don't think that's anytime soon. So I believe Dr. Naram, my father, is a doorway to reaching ancient secrets as it is, from the manuscripts, from the masters who he carried and passed to us. And there is no one else who knows this as the way he does. As far as I know, I've met hundreds of thousands of people. So not only he's the only one person who I know, also he's the only one person selected by his master, who was the only one selected by his master, his master, his master. So he's probably the only one in today's day and age selected by the physician of the Buddha himself. And that's why he's so important for what he can do for us. I hope this makes sense and this could convey the essence of my heart.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful answer. That was absolutely perfect. And I'm glad you brought up Master Jivaka because he was someone who also was able to use his study of herbology back in 450 BCE, and he treated elephants and all kinds of animals and creatures. And he was also a master of observation. And what a great thing to pass on to us today when we're so busy and so distracted. I think it's one of the most important things that we can learn is to be 100% in the moment with our pet, with our beloved, with our child, whoever it is. Giving 100% of our attention and time is, to me, one of the most powerful secrets of all time. And I know that your dad was famous enough to have patients like the Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa, and you can probably name all of these famous Bollywood stars, Hollywood stars, millionaires, billionaires. He saw over 1 million people, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
about he saw a million pulse or a pulse of a million people. And if all of them came 10 times to him, then he saw about 10 million pulse in his entire lifetime.
It's a lot of pulses. It's a lot
Yeah.
of pulses. And how exciting that we can use that same technology to read the
Yeah.
pulse of a pet and have insight into that. That's so exciting. And for you, who is Dr. Krishna Naram?
Oh, oh my God. Thank you. What a, I don't know where you come with these questions from. They're just so beautiful, especially when you ask me about myself. I'm deeply delighted and heart opened. Thank you. So let me just see if I get you right. Who is Dr. Krishna Naram to me? This is beautiful. Thank you. Dr. Krishna Naram is an image, a being that I step into each time I am going out of my house, or each time I think of my mission to be able to help people and make a difference in their life. So, Dr. Krishna Naram is this being that I look at this being as surrendered to Dr. Naram and Dr. Smita Naram, and who considers them as God. So each time Dr. Krishna Naram is there, I look at Dr. Krishna Naram as this person who, since the age of 6 months, has been in clinic on the lap of his parents. And before he knew he's Dr. Krishna Naram, he was being trained and prepared to do something on this planet which is rare and which is expected to make a difference on this planet, to change the world. So my expectation to Dr. Krishna Naram is that he will change the world. He'll make a big impact and make a revolution that will help people's lives be beautifully more enriched. They can access love more deeply. They can be loving to others more deeply. And they make a circle of people on this planet that are living in their power, that have access to their full potential, expressing their life and their identity completely, and they have the ability to heal themselves deeper and deeper in this moment, every moment. Also, lastly, Dr. Krishna Naram is someone who loves having fun and listening to good jokes.
That's wonderful because it's all about fun, and your dad was famous for being fun and jovial even after working till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and what a compassionate soul that he always carried food for the homeless dogs. He always had blankets for to put on homeless people. He was a compassionate
Yeah.
person who changed so many lives. And, so as you talk about being in clinic your whole life, and you were raised with the concept of Marma and Marma Shakti, and for people who are new, can you explain what this technology is and why it's useful even for pets?
Okay. Super. Ah, even for pets. I love this. This is a very deep question. And what I saw since I was growing up, one day I I remember that I was about 8 or 9 months old when was the first time that Papa took me out of India, Mummy and Papa both. And we went to Italy as the first country where we traveled. And I had no idea what is Italy, or what is travel, or what is an airplane, or who am I, who is these two wonderful beings carrying me around. And I feel nourished. There's nutrition coming from these beings. There's care and love and affection coming from them. I had no idea what is what. But they took me to Italy, and this tiny baby is observing, having these radiant smells of pizza, cheese, and mozzarella, and basil, olive oil. Then it goes to United States, doesn't know what does United mean or what does states mean, but looks at all these massive constructions. And suddenly there are these two-legged beings that come, and then four-legged beings that come. And then there are these birded, winged beings that come. So this kid is just observing. To one day, he's old enough to feeling that, Papa, Mummy, you've taken me to almost every continent, but you've never taken me to Australia. Because someone asked this kid that, where have you not been? Because you've been to so many places. So this kid was telling out of pride, I've been here, 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 here. And have you been to Australia? I said, I have not even thought of going to Australia. This is unfair. So one day I started complaining, you've never taken me to Australia. So there was a ritual of manifestation Papa would do. And I also complained that I have seen these different beings, feathery beings and furry beings, without fur beings, that come to you, that walk on four legs or have their neck turned all the way around. I didn't know that was an owl at that time. Or they make different sounds, have a beak, not a, they have an interesting mouth, and they all come to you. But I've never seen these hopping beings come to you. I want to see these hopping beings come to you. that jump, and I see them in that cartoon which I am reading every day. So how do we do the hopping being, and how can we see hopping pulse? So he says, very good. You want to see a hopping being's hopping pulse. What do we do? So I'm very excited. And he says, okay, Krishna, but for this, I want to share with you something. If you really want to see it, I want to teach you how to manifest what you really desire into reality. So we went into a ritual which was over 21 days, and it get deeper and deeper and deeper. And he says, if you do this right, you'll see the hopping pulse of a hopping being. And that this experience was a breakthrough for me when I realized what's the power of these ancient secrets for animals, and why your book, Carol, Ancient Secrets for Pets, is so important. This story is probably my personal turning point. So we went, I did this ritual every day in the morning, sitting, this tiny kid excited to see a hopping pulse of a hopping being, who I don't know what the name is, but they have this pouch, and which becomes like a home for their children. So let's see what happens. Finally, 21 days are over. I don't hear anything, nothing happens. I think, these rituals are just something nonsense, and not nonsense, but I didn't know the word nonsense. I didn't have good vocabulary then. So maybe this is just not working. I forgot about it. In a month after that, suddenly, Papa says, amazing news. Krishna, remember we did this ritual? Suddenly an offer has come, an opportunity has come. And what's the opportunity? Do you remember hopping beings? I said, yeah, Papa, but are we able to see them? You said you want to go to Australia. You've never been. Do you want to come? I said, yes, I want to come. And now this was the first half of the story. This is the first secret that I discovered, that to get anything, first is important is an intention to get it, and the right way to set the intention, the right ritual to follow after you do the intention. It's a 3-step ritual. And once you did it, suddenly things open up. Why is this relevant to pets now? So we go there, and all of a sudden there's a line of people who've come to meet Papa. In that, I'm seeing one interesting furry being that is moving its neck all the way back and again ahead. I said, no, this is not new. I already know. But then, so first day, nothing happened. Second day, Papa, where is the hopping being? Where is the hopping pulse? Where is the jumping pulse? Second day, nothing happens. Third day, the last day. Now he says, let's do this ritual again. Krishna, if you really want to manifest, let's sit again. So we sat, and for an hour, we did this ritual. Mom was there, Papa was there, I was there, intensely focused, and we begin the day. And then he said, be grateful in this manner, so that what you want, the universe gives to you, and then take action. So there's a manner to be grateful in, and then suddenly you take action. So when I took action, my action was I went out and saw everyone's pulse and asked them, have you seen the hopping being? Have you seen the jumping being? That was my action. And that was my best I could do at that moment. I gave my 1000%. So he said, always give your 1000%. This is noteworthy. Suddenly, so at the loss of all hope, I said, I've done everything. I asked everybody. I go to the bathroom and I sit in the room with Papa in a corner, playing with some beads. He says, Krishna, look. I said, no, I'm tired. I don't want to see anything. No, Krishna, look. Really? So mommy says, oh, my dear, come here. Look, look. So she does like this. And I go up. Oh, boom. What do I see? This wonderful creature, absolutely cute, like anything, two glowing eyes, this long nose like a rat or similar like a rat, with 2 ears and structured very oddly. I'm seeing, what is this, a toy? So I go close and I feel it breathe. Very, very quick it is breathing. It's almost breathing and trembling as if afraid. But I didn't mean it harm. Then I'll come a little bit closer. It's like, what? Is it really? Yes, this is a jumping being, Krishna. Remember? You wanted a hopping being. This is it. I said, Papa, this is amazing. But why is it so afraid? Why is it so shaking? And why is the bones showing? It looks very non-nutritioned, undernutritioned, undernourished. And it looks like it's not happy. It is not able to be present and accept the love which we want to give it. Yeah, you are right. So let's see its pulse. Are you excited to see a hopping being's hopping pulse? I said, yes, Papa, I'm very excited. So mommy guides my hand and she puts my hand right on the hand and then even the foot. And we go like that. It's a very small one. Later, I found out it's known as a kangaroo, by the way. I think you already guessed it. It's a kangaroo. But yeah, it is a kangaroo. And we keep the hand over there. I don't feel anything. This is, Krishna, you don't feel anything because it's not accepting right now. It is shut down. You need to help it to open up. You need to allow space to this being. Every being that cannot speak your language, they don't hear that I love you, but they feel that you love them. And important is they feel you love them, not you loving them. That is also important, but they need to feel loved by you. So now what do you do, Krishna? Go ahead, repeat this mantra and speak this in your mind. Keep speaking it, keep speaking it. So I have my pulse on the, where the pulse I'm supposed to feel, and I cannot feel anything. At brief, I can just feel dug, 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 but I cannot interpret or anything understanding. All of a sudden, I'm saying, and I lose remembering what I'm saying, anything. But you know how Avatar, there is this movie, Avatar, and then they have this hair, and it's so resisting. That animal is so much resisting. But once that connection is done, all of a sudden they share dreams, they share their spirit, they share unity in spirit. And all of a sudden, I know there is resistance. There is something between us. I cannot even feel that there is someone. But saying the mantra again and again and again, just there's this moment, I didn't even know it happened. It just melted. And suddenly I'm moving with the pulse. I feel moved by the pulse. That was my first experience. And just that moment, and suddenly I have a love. I feel like a attachment for this. And as far as I can remember, it came a little bit closer with the head like this. And just that is what my memory ends of that moment. But that was the most precious moment I experienced with this hopping being, which had a hopping pulse because it was afraid. It was closed and it was abused and it was malnourished. And why it had come was because of being separated from the mother. It had no nutrition and it was not accepting anything else because it didn't feel like eating anything else. At that point onwards, I said, this is what's happening. This is what I feel right now. He says, very good. Mommy is super happy. Then we celebrate, but then we write down what does that being do? How does the hopping being who was not hopping anymore, was silent and sad and afraid, how does the hopping being hop and the pulse doesn't hop? Pulse swims in a flow with peace. So having said that, Carol, these ancient secrets, when you use these principles, right, suddenly like the avatar that just connects, there's a way that you melt barriers that are beyond language, that you access connection that is also beyond language. And suddenly you can bring deeper healing into these lives of these beautiful beings. Moving just a year ahead, I didn't meet the kangaroo again, but what I came to know, and I think we have a picture. No, we don't have a picture here right now, but there is a wonderful picture. And there's another picture with me. I came to know that not only it gained weight, but in a week's time, its heartbeat became better. It was hopping again. And it was so shriveled and so afraid. It suddenly opened up, and just in a way, it's something like lick people and eat and jump around. Then it got so big that they left in the forest again. But these ancient secrets allow full expression of the heart, spirit, and soul of every being on this planet. And that's why they are so important for the animals. I can share more about Marma, but I'd like if you can ask me any question.
No, I think that's such a beautiful story and one that I think, is so rare that, we're so quick to, give an injection, put a pill down an animal's throat, don't take the time to connect to the heart and the soul, which is part of all of us. So that's a beautiful representation of how the ancient secrets connect. at the heart level. And in this cute little book, Ancient Secrets for Pets, one of the contributors is Dr. Deepika, and she's in Australia, and she shared some wonderful stories of your dad and kangaroos and how Vata, the pulse, was. It moves like the wind, and we have some great photos of him with the kangaroos there in Australia that she's provided. So they're it's just wonderful. We have Dr. Giovanni stories from Italy. We have a story of Dr. Giovanni rescuing an eagle, and so many things that are so uplifting and inspired by your father. And I think that the story you shared is so far with the people who've previewed the book, they've loved your story about the lioness. And in it, you reveal some really special secrets. We hope people will really pay attention to the secrets that you shared in the book, and that they will use these. And one of the inspirations for this book was the during the pandemic, there was supply chain issues in the U.S. as there were around the world, and you couldn't go and just buy dog food. The shelves were empty. So one of the things I set out to do was, what can you feed your dog when there's no packaged dog food, and how can you make your own dog food in a pinch? So we have the recipes in here and the know-how in here, and we've listed the herbs, and I think we have 18 or 20 our Shakti herbs that are listed here. And I'll just ask you one last question. When people have an animal that's ill and they're in an area where they have access to a Vidya or a practitioner, do they bring their animals into clinic? You're muted. Yeah.
Okay, that's a cool question. That's an interesting question. Yeah, definitely. We've had people in, we have about, Mummy and Papa have 26 centers in Mumbai and the cities around. And there have been people who've got their dog or their cats. And regularly, there's this one person I remember got a bunch of birds. And that was one of the first time I learned to see the pulse of a bird. But definitely they bring, and there are certain methods of treating these birds or different animals and seeing also their pulse, but understanding what they are going through, what they are experiencing as their life. But there are people who would bring, definitely. And if there are, we have this course with the path course. So there are the students who are learning there. I think even by now, they would be strong to identify basically what's happening if they meet an animal.
So one of the things I want to make sure that we say is this isn't any we are all for vets. Veterinarian medicine is really important. This is for better understanding of how you can be more empowered, especially in a situation where you can't get to a vet, or there's no food available. And there's a really important chapter in here that was co-authored by Mindy Barrett after her daughter had to escape a fire with pets, and kind of the lessons learned from evacuation from a fire. And I evacuated a fire in New Mexico a couple of years ago, and when you're in a panic, that's not the time to set about that. So there's a checklist of how to prepare for things in emergencies, whether it's earthquakes, fires, other disasters, that it gives you a toolkit. And then the final chapter, which was written with so much love, is by Dr. Susan Ingman. And she's used her long career to talk about how hard it is to say goodbye to pets at the end of their life. And so she's going to talk to us on Sunday on the Ancient Secrets Global Call about the letting go process and what we can learn from that, and much more information about that. So thank you, Krishna, for being here today. I'm so very grateful for your contributions to the book. I think people are just going to really enjoy the joy that comes through the book and the helpfulness of it. And we're so grateful to you for your time today, for your contributions to the book. And the proceeds of this book go to support the orphanages in Nepal. Just one last comment. How did your dad fall in love with the children, the orphans of Nepal?
Hmm, very good question. This, what I remember, is when Papa told me that first time we were visiting there, he already started many years before that. So one inspiration was from his master, and the second inspiration was from within, that I want to go. But the basic from his master and brother disciples, and in that way it began. Then it became like a ritual for him that I want to serve the land from where I learned so much, or where my master was, where these agoras were, these spiritual beings were. It really became like a ritual and like a giving back also, that I've got from this, so I want to give back. And he spoke about these children and their dreams and their hopes. And what I saw that you, Dr. Clint, did recently was that entire reunion with all the kids. It's so beautiful, and being able to guide them, let them experience and explore life, achieve their dreams. I think this book is going to make a big difference in their lives. And this book is going to help so many animals experience this life in such a beautiful way. So congratulations, Carol. I
Oh,
love
thank you so much. I appreciate it again. And it's up on Amazon, the ebook, the hard copy book, and we have uh, we have so much more coming on Sunday. The same channel that you found us on here today, if you're on Zoom. And I love you, and I'm with you. Let's put our hands together for all of those.
Hold on, Carol.
Yep. Yep.
Before Dr. Krushna goes, I have actually a question. And the
Okay.
question is, you were talking about that mantra that you were using to connect to the kangaroo. And I would like actually to, can you speak it so we can actually also do that? That would
Hmm.
be amazing.
Okay, wonderful. Very good question, Cornelia. I like how you catch the very basic essence. I was thinking, who would want to ask about the mantra? Let's see. There's a process. It goes with a marma and a mantra. When you do together, then the vibrations happen. I had two very powerful experiences with this, and one was at a aquarium where I was wanting to see dolphins, but dolphins didn't appear. And they kept on not appearing until the moment Papa said, okay, do this mantra and this murmur together. We began so intensely. In about 90 seconds, I saw three dolphins jump out of the water. It was just thrilling as a child, like a miracle. And so many following experiences in connecting and healing with animals. So you go with both your hands like this and connect the nails of the index and thumb finger and rub them that it makes a sound, that the nails, they like a kind of pull each other, and it makes a very small sound. Only you can hear it if you bring it close. Far away, even you can't hear it. Then you continuously keep doing it. Keep on, go on doing it. Go on and on and on. Papa said that I was in the garden of my house and he was teaching this to a very wonderful photographer named Luciano from Italy. And then Luciano asks that, Dr. Naram, nobody can hear it. Then how does it make a difference? So Papa said that they sense the vibrations. They cannot hear it, but they are more sensitive and they feel the vibrations that come from this. And this is the marma. You go like this continuously. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's important to do it quick. So don't count then, but continuously go like this. And then the next is the mantra. There are two mantras. One is a very deep mantra, and I would love to share that, but I want to share first the basic mantra. If you can begin doing this, then I can show you the advanced mantra. Maybe later on or next time that we do together. The basic mantra for connecting with the spirit of the animals is connecting with the one that is symbolized as the representative of the animals, the animal kingdom. That is, and you can say after me, Cornelia, Esther, Carol, whoever would like to repeat, they can repeat after me. Om
Om
Pashupati Nath
Pashupandinath
Namaha.
Namaha.
Yes. this is a very special mantra for the spirit of the animals. But this is a basic mantra. There is a deeper one, which once you do this enough, then we can go to the deeper one. But this you start with, this marma and this mantra. You say in your mind, don't say out loud. When you're seeing the pulse also, say this mantra, say it with devotion and lot of intensity. And there are times suddenly you feel the pulse changed, and all of a sudden the real pulse comes out. It may be anxious, whatever, but suddenly the real pulse comes out. Then you know what's happening. Maybe the animal is anxious, or maybe it's feeling constipation, or maybe it's missing its mother, or it wants a feeling of love, whatever it is. Yeah.
Thank you
Yes,
so
take
much, Krishna, for sharing.
of course.
Carol?
So, how do you spell is it PASH? What's this? How do you spell the second word?
Here, I am writing it and
Oh, perfect.
send.
Perfect.
The new
Exactly what we
spelling
were
is the
hoping
correct.
for.
The older one is not the good one. The new spelling I shared is the correct one.
Okay. And for people who want to get in touch with you, I know you have a very active Facebook presence, other social media. Can you also put in the chat how people can contact you?
Oh, super wonderful. Yeah. Let me put this. I'm on Instagram as Dr. Krushna Naram, and Instagram is wonderful. Yes.
Okay. That's
Even
Thank you.
Facebook, I'm on Facebook and Instagram both.
Oh, wonderful. Please give
Yeah.
our love to your mom. We're also excited to see all the many things that are happening in the world of our Shakti, and we're so grateful for you. And Joseph has his hand up. Dr. Joe?
Well, I do. Curious minds would love to know a little more about your 21-day ritual
The three
of
steps.
manifestation, the 3 steps. Is that something you would be willing to share with us?
Yeah, happily, with love and delight, I'd love to share. I want to share everything, whatever from my 6 months of age to now, Papa and Mommy have given. I want to give everything out. I want to give it in a way that benefits all of the world. So that's a great question. It's a very deep ritual, and today we don't have the time to do it. I have a flight to, I have a long flight in just a few hours. So I don't even have my bags packed, and I gotta go. But what we can do is let's set up time together, and Carol, Cornelia can help set it. And I'm here happy to just share and be here 1000%. I love the work Carol is doing. Just I genuinely appreciate her. So let's get together, and I'll be happy. We can actually do a journey that we together do this for 21 days. I have a
Oh,
few
that
new
would be
intentions.
fabulous. I think everybody would really love that. And thank you so much for your time. And we wish you safe travels to on your journey. And I'm so grateful for you. I love you, and I'm with you.
I love you all, and I'm with you all. This is divine work, and thank you. Beautiful.
Safe journeys. Thank you.